It might help if I unmute my microphone. So, welcome to the live stream. This is Susan for SLC Aquatics, welcoming you to the fish room. And now we have audio. Love you guys. I want to say hi to Mr. Bees, hi to Zoe Kitty, hi to Top Secret Aquatics, Guppy Lover, Aquamate, and we got Guppy Lover 0605. Me neither. Got sound? Ooh. Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday evening. Um, Wanted to say hi to everyone again. Welcome everyone to the hashtag FishFamMoms Fish Room. And I know I've got a glare over my shoulder right here from 29 gallon tank. I was trying to set up a new secondhand camcorder, but it's not ready to go. So the only other camera that I have is the Logitech website, that webcam that I'll be able to flip here in a little bit. How are you? I'm doing fine. Let me I got to adjust my screen a little bit so I can see everybody. And Crystal's Pets and Plants is in the house. Hello, how are you doing, Crystal? We got Pleco Whisper. Mark is in the house. Hello, Mark. I'm not having a good week at all, Zoe says. Oh, Zoe, oh, I hate to hear that, but we're here for you, sweetheart, if you need us. Let us know what's going on. Wednesday morning here, Aquamate says. Oh, in the down under. Early in the morning? Is it like 12, 1 o'clock? Good day, mate, Mark says. Crystal says, hello, Aquamate. About to head to work, so wanted to say hi and listen while I get ready. Oh, well, great, and I hope that I'm entertaining for you, and that we're talking about aquarium maintenance tonight, and I hope everybody enjoyed my thumbnail. If you got to see it, if you didn't get to see it, maybe you can check it out later. And 9 a.m., wow, 9 a.m., which means you are, let's see, 12, 13, let's see, 6, 12, 13, 14, 15 hours ahead of me. 808 Tank is in the house. Hi, good to see you. It's been a while. Mark, how are you doing? I want to know, Pleco Whisper, how are you doing? I'm been concerned about you. I know you've been going back and forth to the doctor lately, and I just hope that you're feeling better. Guppy Lover 0605 says, my female guppy is about to drop fry and is having white bowel. What should I do? Just continue to feed her. Do you have any freeze-dried bloodworms? And or some frozen bloodworms, and that will help her to digest while she's trying to give birth. And I feed my females while they're giving birth in hopes that they won't eat as many of their fry. Learning to keep fish. Hi, how you doing? Mark says he's okay. All right. Zoe Kitty says, Sunday morning after not being able to sleep because of bad headache, I found my hamster, who was my best friend, dead. I've been crying for 3 days now and trying to deal with it. I'm so sorry, Zoe. Lord, have mercy on her. I ask the Lord to touch your heart and your mind, to comfort you. Rest in peace to your little buddy. And we pray that you find the strength, Zoe, to go on, sweetheart. We're here for you. And, yeah, FEMA. Federal Emergency Management Association. But I know drama. All right, sweetheart, we're here for you, and you just be encouraged and know that we love you and we care about you. Yes, I'm giving general cure. Okay. When did you give general cure? Because that's going to change the water chemistry a little bit. Crystal says, have a great day, Aquamate. Yes, have a great day, sweetheart. Getting ready to go to work. Legacy Aquatics. Hey, Melvins. How you doing, sweetheart? I'm learning to keep fish. Oh, hi. Learning to keep fish. That's cute. But sorry, Zoe's lost her hamster. Mr. B says, remember to show your support. Hit that like button. Thank you. Yes. And we're also coming tonight into the fish room to talk about aquarium maintenance tonight. And I did a little poll on my YouTube community tab. Let me look at it and see what it's reading right now. My question was, how often do you do water changes? And so far, 36% says weekly, 21% says bi-weekly, no votes for monthly, and 36% as needed. So 36 weekly and as needed are tied right now. There's 13 votes. So if you haven't voted, you can go to SLC Aquatics, Susan for SLC Aquatics YouTube channel, and go to my community tab, and you can cast your vote even while we're live tonight. Also, other things we need to discuss about water changes is not just how often, but how much. And it does depend on your the size of your tank, your stock that you have in your tank, whether your tank is planted or not. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a text. Okay, it was from Diego at Petsotics. And depending on the size of your tank, the stock you have in there, the substrate, whether it's planted or has artificial plants in it, and when we all get started, it's a good practice to do weekly water changes and small amounts, either 10% or 20% water changes weekly. Melvin says, I'm doing great. Great. Also, as your aquariums become established and you have planted tanks, the plants will help with the cycle. The plants will also help with ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate consumptions. Ammonia is from food, from fish waste, and if you have a heavy stock or not. And everybody knows my 20-gallon is a breeding tank, so it has a large stock of guppies in it and corydoras. And so I need to do weekly water changes in there, but it does not get weekly water changes, to be honest. Also, when you are changing your water, you don't want to do your whole gravel if you're gravel vacuuming. Yeah, your comment, Zoe, was held for review because you used the word jerk mail. So it's I went ahead and allowed it to be seen at this time, but we want to just be careful with the language that we use. I know you're upset, but when we're describing things, we don't want to use strong adjectives. But I do understand that sometimes we can get mad when the males, sit there. I've seen the females as they give birth back up and eat the fry. So that can happen in a lot of situations. Exotic Animal Budget Life is in the house. Hello, Exotic Animal Budget Life. Good to have you with us tonight. We've got Yolanda, PEMG Hustle Woman Aquatics. Hello, my dear. How are y'all doing? And Guppy Lover says, my 10-gallon has 3 females and 4 small Cory cats. Is that overstocked? According to 1 inch per fish, I would say 3 females, 7. No, it's not overstocked, but as your females give birth, it can be easily overstocked as the fry grows. So you want to keep your water changes up or find another tank for the fry. I got a 3-gallon tub. I'm going to show you. Sorry about that. I used Walmart 3-gallon tubs. Okay. I put a sponge filter, a heater. Oh, if you can't get the sponge filter, you know, the sponge filter might be this tall. So I used at least an air stone. Use an air stone, a small 5 to 10 watt heater, and you need a light. And I used a table lamp for a long time. And I used that for my grow out tub. And as the fry are maturing, probably at 3 to 4 months, you can start telling what's male and female. Then I separate the males from the females and put them in their own 10-gallon tanks. 808 tank, yes. 3 females, yep. It's giving away the babies. Okay, that works. Just keep your water changes up weekly, and sometimes if it becomes overstocked, you just want to, you check your water perimeters, and if your ammonia's up or if your nitrates get above, some say 20, and some say 40. Is it MPs? Anyway, you want to keep your water changes up, Guppy Lover. Small water changes, 10 to 20%. And the guppies will grow healthy and their backs won't be bent. And if you're doing gravel vacs, when you do your water changes, you want to do half of the tank 1 week and the other half the next week. You don't want to wash out your filter media at the same time that you're doing gravel vacs. You want to alternate, and most people change or wash their filter media once a month in fish water. So if you're taking fish water out, I would take the filter media from my filter and wash it out in that water that I extracted from the tank, put it back, turn it back on, and a lot of times we forget to unplug your heater, unplug your filter, and if you have, some people say unplug even your air pumps, but I leave my air pumps going during a water change because it still allows for gas exchange while I'm stirring up the gases within the water column from the substrate up. So I leave mine running unless I do a really low water change, which I usually don't do one that great. Calypso's Reefing's in the house. Eric B's in the house. Hey, how we doing? I'm missing y'all. I'm sorry. I'm running my mouth. You know how that goes. Eric, how are you doing? Good to see you. Calypso's Reefing, how are you doing tonight? We're talking about aquarium maintenance. You want to, I always scrubbed the sides of my glass. And a lot of my glass does not get scrubbed anymore because I don't have any algae issues. And I can see straight through my aquariums. So I'm going to switch over to the other camera so some of y'all can see my new 15-gallon aquarium. That is my 15-gallon aquarium that I bought Friday A week ago? My count's off. I think Friday. Thanks. I'm good. I just got my page back. I lost it for a day or so. Okay, Calypso. Welcome back. And Eric, I'm glad you're doing great. And Calypso says, I'm good. Petsotics, Diego is in the house. Hello, Diego. How are you doing? Birthday boy. His birthday was a couple days ago. And today is the last day that you can use promo code SLC Aquatics 30 on Petsotics website to receive 30% off of your website order. Today is the last day. That was all month long. So I have a cute little commercial up on. Let's see how I can do that. I may have to add another scene. I'm trying to add it. I'll be back. Hang in there. I'll be back. We're going to do a window capture. Don't want that. We're going to go over here. Okay, we're going to go to Facebook. And I'm going to go to SLC Aquatics. And I hope that you all can hear this. Y'all let me know. Okay, I'm gonna pop it out.
Promo code SLC Aquatics 30 to get 30% off your entire order at PetSonics.com. Ladies and gentlemen, now introducing PetSonics' awesome fish lineup. Make sure you go check them out. Promo code.
Okay. I don't know how that worked, but oh goodness, I'm back. I gotta get back. Alright. Sorry for all of the mess up. That is a gorgeous fish tank. Thank you, Crystal. Hey, honey.
Hey.
I don't know if y'all got to see that or not. Hey, Rob, how you doing? DeFreeze Aquarium's in the house. I had fun with that. I know that voice. Did y'all get to see it? I threw that together really fast today because today was the last day, is the last day for that 30% special off of PetSonics.com website. Thanks, Brandon. Yeah, there's others in there too, other commercials that we had that collab Thursday night. So I've still got to go in there and chop up a couple more commercials. Rob did a really good job. He did a good job for Susan for SLC Aquatics and for Diego at PetSonics.com. So thanks again, Rob. My hat's off to you, buddy. Appreciate you a lot. We're talking about aquarium maintenance tonight. So I want your input as to some of the things that you do to your aquariums and how often do you do it. In my fish room, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 in here. I have 1 upstairs. So that's 10 aquariums again. And also I have the 125-gallon pond, the 20-gallon tub, and the 40-gallon tub on the front porch. So those have not been, the ponds have not really been maintenance. I did wash out the filter because it was clogged about 3 or 4 weeks ago. But in the fish room here, when I do water changes, because I don't get to them every week anymore, I usually do 20% to 40% water changes, depending on how the tank is stocked. The 15-gallon will get a 10% water change. The 20-gallon will get about a 40% water change. The 55-gallon usually gets about a 40% change. The 29 gets about a 20% water change. And each one of the 5-gallon gets a 10% water change and water top-offs in between water changes. Hey, Madfish Diva, how are you doing? And remember to show love for love. Checking out each other. Vanoski, hey Vanoski, how you doing? And also, if you have live plants and your tank is well cycled, and you check your water perimeters at least weekly. You should check them weekly. Or if you start seeing something like your fish is lethargic, all of them's hanging out at the top of the tank, you open up the lid and it's got a foul odor, you know something's got to be going wrong with the water perimeters. So you want to, first of all, do a water change. Guppy Lover says, I clean my tanks every 4 days, 25%, 15% alternating on my tank. Also, I give bacteria supplement twice a month. Okay, beneficial bacteria. Okay, kind of like stress zyme or something like that. Sometimes I do, on a new tank, I will do bacterial supplements with my water changes for a month to 6 weeks until it gets good and established. And then I do it like every once in a while. "808 Tank says, see you later. Going to take a nap." All right, sweetheart. Thanks for stopping by. Get you some rest. Crystal says hello to DeFreeze. And Rob, it is so good to have you in the house tonight. Hope you're doing good. Hope you had a good day. I really enjoyed the collab Thursday night. If y'all haven't seen it, it is 2 hours long, but go in there and run it and listen to the fun that we had. Listen to the good information that Rob and I both gave and others gave in the chat on channel growth. I believe JH Aquatics let us know about the CTRs, which is the click-through rate of your thumbnails. Do not be concerned about your subscriber counts because they will fluctuate up and down. And make sure that you are being constant with your content. And if you are a live streamer and it's benefiting your channel, by all means continue doing your live streams. But if you're seeing that you're not getting the views, you're not getting the participation, concentrate on at least 10-minute contents. And some of my content videos are smaller than that, 5 minutes, because when I started growing my channel again, I was actually stirring up my community to start watching for my videos to come out again. And now I'm beginning to lengthen them. I think the one that came out yesterday was 7 minutes long on the new tank setup. I'm working on a series now on bagging fish to ship within the United States. And the information is going to be very interesting to you. You will be surprised how some people ship fish and they survive and they make it. And but I wanted to give some good pointers, and I'll be bringing that series to y'all this week. The caller with Rob The collab with Rob was so awesome. Thank you, Char, Madfish Diva. The collaboration. I got you. Yes. I shared a video in TGA about CTR and tips. Yeah, Rob, I saw that. I didn't watch it, but I saw that you had posted that. So check out Team Green Alliance on Facebook. And Rob, you can share that link, or any of the other mods can share that link to the Team Green Alliance. You know, I'm all about supporting one another. Don't forget to check out my website, Susan. It's not Susan. My website is slcaquatics.org, O-R-G. And I do have to update the events. I do have to update the resource page. Adding people constantly on the resource page. And soon I will be integrating live video, where we can do some live video chats from the website. And anyway, we're going to start having fun from the website. Also, my Patreon. I post a lot of stuff on patreon.com. If you want to support me, $1 a month to help keep the fish room going, to keep my website. The Patreon account actually supports my website. You know, you have to pay for your domain name. You have to pay for your hosting. You also have to pay for add-on features that you have on your website for interactive content. So the Patreon account mainly supports my website. Thank you so much. Dan is in the house. Dan Slee. Hi you all. How you doing? We're talking about aquarium maintenance tonight, and I'm trying to stay focused like I did the night on snails, and I'm having a little bit of problem doing that tonight, so y'all help me out. I want to know how often you all do your water changes, and why, and how long does it take to become established? That's a good question. I think when your water perimeters constantly are showing no ammonia, no nitrites, and 20 to 40 nitrates. To me, when it hits 40, you want to do water changes weekly, because if those nitrates continue to climb, you can have a decrease in pH, which makes the water acidic. And for angels and other fish like discus and stuff, acidic is good. But for live bearers and cory cats, most cory cats, they like that neutral zone. Thank you, Diego, for sharing my links. I appreciate it. Right now, it's the poll that's on my community tab on YouTube says, how often do you change water in the majority of your tanks? So far, weekly is at 40%, bi-weekly is at 20%, as needed is 33%. There's been 14 votes, and there's been no one who says monthly. Yolanda, PEMG Hustle Woman, said she never overchanges her water. She changes her water as needed, and for me it helps the fish to not be so sensitive, and it keeps the balance of the aquarium as regards to healthy bacteria. So as needed, and the way you know that you need to do a water change is you test your water perimeters. You do it with I think I got some test strips the other day, some 5-in-1 test strips, and I also have behind me, I have a master test kit down there on the shelf right there, which I hardly ever use, but I do use it on occasion. And I don't check my water like I should, but I would rather do a water change than to test my water. But you never know how much water to change if you don't test your water. We got Kaylor Aquatics Bob in the house. Hello, Kaylor. How you doing? In the house. Thank you, Bob. Coming out loud and hard with my PayPal account. PayPal me. Send me some love. Send me love. Yeah. I appreciate all of y'all. Thank you for my subscriptions. Thank you for viewing my content and for participating in my live streams. I see a nice growth in my watch hours or my view hours. And let me see what Diego says at PetSonics. I just top off my tanks. I send water out in shipment orders when I send out plants or snails. Got a question?
I'm fixing to run to Walmart.
Okay.
Because it's the first of the month, and I don't want to be there to none of the next few days.
Okay.
So, if you think of something you want, message me. If not,
Well, I did add stuff to the list.
I got the list.
Okay. My Powerades need to go on there.
I got them.
Okay, and I think my apples are on there.
They're on there, 4 green apples.
And whatever snack you get, duplicate it for me.
I always get my Chex Mix.
Thank you.
And some candy and some.
I don't want any candy.
Okay,
Chex Mix and chips, the popcorn Doritos. Excuse us, guys.
So, do you want me to get the one I usually get, or get you? They got one that's just popcorn.
I don't want just popcorn. I like the Doritos too.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Love you. Be safe. Oh, full moon's in the house. Hey, full moon, love you. Yeah, Rod's getting ready to go out, so I had to give him a little bit of a grocery list there. Diego says it just makes good practice not to add someone else's water to your tanks. That's right, Diego. Never add someone else's water to your tanks. Always drain their water through a net with the fish and then add the fish straight into your water. They will acclimate better, and some fish and snails, crustaceans do need to be drip acclimated, and you're going to have to do that research, or hopefully the person you get that animal from will give you pointers on how to do that. Jeremy's Wild Studio. Thank you, Jeremy. Don't know if he's in here tonight. He might be listening. Let me see what the post is saying at this time. 14 votes. Majority do a weekly water change. If you do weekly water changes, how much are you changing? Are you doing 10%, 20%, 40%? Some people do 50%. And I hope that you're not doing 100% or 90%, because those are large volume changes. It changes the minerals, it changes the pH, it changes, it takes out a lot of stuff that is good for your fishies. What do you all think? How do you all feel about that? Very true. PetSonics never know what's in the water. You could have ick, parasites, and more. Yes, that is so true. And we don't want to spread, do not want to spread disease through healthy fish. Bob at Kaler's Aquatics is sharing how to support this stream through streamlabs.com score48. Thank you, Bob. We have not used that in a while. I really appreciate that. They give the best percentage. They take the less fees. They charge the less fees. So if you give me $5 or $10 on that link, believe me, I'm going to get almost that full $5 or almost that full $10. Thank you so much. Thank you for showing love for love, everyone. Check out, we got some newcomers here tonight. We need to check out their channels. Go over there and you know how to show love. Also, participate if they have any content. Encourage the newcomers to upload their first video. There's always a beginning. And remember, when you upload videos, always rotate your phone landscape, not profile. On Facebook, you go profile. On YouTube, you go landscape. and that will give you the full feeling of your video, and it won't be that little skinny screen in the middle with all this black on the side. So rotate landscape if you're going to video, and then upload it to YouTube so that we can see your fish, see your tanks, and if you have any questions, ask it. You don't have to put your face on the camera. Not yet. TJ's Exotics is in the house. Hey TJ, how you doing? Good to see you. Need to find out. I know I've missed some folks. I think I caught everyone up to Full Moon Aquatics. I want to say hi to those who come in. Sorry for scrolling the chat. TJ's Exotics. Hello, TJ's Exotics. Rob says 50% or more depending on when I did the last water change. Being heavily planted, sometimes I can go 3 weeks at a time if I'm not busy. And I agree to that. As long as your tanks have been set up, and I don't know if it's as critical as others, you know, with the bubbles that are released from the substrate. Some people say that, you know, be careful releasing those gases that grow in the substrate. And I've experienced over in my crawfish tank an outbreak of detritus worms due to overfeeding. And believe me, crayfish can put off quite a bit of waste. Guppy Lover says, should I bleach dip new plants? Because I got water lettuce a long time ago and it had bugs in it that reproduced and were a mess. They didn't hurt my fish, but were a pain. Guppy Lover, it is a good practice to also rinse or dip your plants that come in. And don't forget to rinse off any decorations that you put in your aquarium. Bleach dip is one type of dip, and we discussed this last week, that there are several different kinds. There's a bleach dip. You can find this information on the web. There is a peroxide dip. Shelby used some kind of bicarbonate. I'm not sure. Some people use salt dips. Some people use, and you know, plants are very sensitive to salt. So you don't want to put too much salt in the water, because you're going to cause them to go ahead and wilt or drop their needles. Okay, let me catch up with you guys. Madfish Diva says, depends on the fish. I do 50% in my hill streams and about 30% on the others. I also run hot water through my python in between tanks too. That's a very good practice there, Madfish Diva, because I don't practice that. But one day my tanks are all going to be on one water system anyway. And so, but you do want to practice good quarantine or good hygiene from tank to tank. You want to also use separate nets for each tank. Nets for each tank. Okay guys, sorry, I'm trying to get back. The laptop crashed, so I ran upstairs really quick to I'm trying to set up my chat. Okay. Wow, that's so itty bitty. I can't see that. Can you see that? Can y'all hear me? Wow, that was fun. Wednesday video is going to be out. Okay, I prefer potassium permanganate full moon. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Yep, my laptop crashed. Beam us up, Scotty. Can hear and see you, Susan. Thanks, Dan. Wow. I don't have my lapel mic on. Yep, and as you see, I'm up here. Let me see if I can get some chroma key going. Y'all get to see some magic being played while I'm playing with it. Ta-da! Alrighty there, folks. Still got Rob up here. Hey, Rob, you're still up here on the props. Whee! I can take it off, though. Alrighty there. So, as you see, I have different setups for all of my computers. And we were talking about maintenance and water changes and not putting, okay, y'all were talking about plant dips and not contaminating your python from tank to tank. What else might somebody else need to know? How about before you do any water changes, you unplug your heater and you unplug, if you have a hang on the back filter or an internal filter, you unplug your filter. I don't know about canister filters, so I've never had a canister filter. Anybody had a canister filter before? Okay, if you go to my YouTube channel, to the community tab, I have a poll that says, how often do you change water in the majority of your tanks? Weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or as needed? And if you have a different scenario, share that with us tonight also. Cichlids23, we got Green Terror Keeper in the house. Hello, Cichlids23. Hello, Green Terror Keeper. I hope y'all are doing good. I'm just recovering from a laptop crash downstairs. And woohoo, this is one of my SLC Aquatics stainless drinks. I think it's 24 ounces. You can get it in different colors too, not just blue. On Zazzles, on my Zazzles store. And then the polo shirt that I have on, you can get that. I also have a baseball cap that's embroidered with SLC Aquatics logo on it. Yeah, everybody show love for love. We're talking about aquarium maintenance here tonight. We have about 15 to 20 more minutes to go if you have any more input. I think before you do any of that, a lot of people, now I've helped someone who recently started keeping fish, who had never kept fish before. They were using just utensils out of the kitchen, like measuring cups, Kool-Aid pitchers, different things like that. And the equipment that you use for your fish room should be brand new. It shouldn't be used. It should never be washed with detergents or chemicals in any way. Even a Kool-Aid pitcher, if it's been used with Kool-Aid or tea or anything like that, I would not advise using that in the aquarium. I would just go get me a brand new pitcher, a brand new... Now I have used milk jugs that I've put boiling water, hot water in before. Amber's Berries and Buds is where I saw a good video on using PP. Some can be allergic and it can stain purple. Use gloves and wear old clothes working with it. Yeah, potassium permanganate. That's right. Thank you. I knew it sounded familiar. It is that purple stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I use either hydrogen peroxide or a very weak bleach dip. And believe me, when you use bleach, you dip it. You don't leave it longer than 15 seconds, and you rinse it with tank water after that. Um, if you use hydrogen peroxide, there is a formula for that as well. And you can leave plants soaking in hydrogen peroxide 30 minutes to an hour. So, and there's different dips out there. Thanks, guys, for all of the input. Crystal's Pets and Plants. Hey, Crystals. Do you use an air pump for your crayfish? I have a corner filter that's plastic, and it has 3 layers of filter material in it, and it is ran by an air stone or air pump. And I also have a small hang on the back that has very slow water flow, kind of like what you would use for a betta. Thank you, Crystal. Valley Fish is in the house. Hey, Valley Fish. How you doing? Full Moon Aquatics says Amber's Berry. Okay, that one. I'm good, buddy. Blah, blah, blah. Water changes as needed with frequent water testing is what I do. Thank you, Diego. And yes, I believe that is the best way to go. Water testing. Then you'll know how much water you need to take out. If your nitrates are high, how much water would you take out? And how often would you do water changes after that? If they're over 40 pp, whatever, I don't know what the regular I've lost my track. People are texting me about business. If your nitrates are over 40, I've done 40 to 50% water change. And then you want to do 10 to 20% water change daily for the next 3 to 4 days. Testing your water, because all it will do is bring your nitrates down temporarily, and then they'll build back up. Thank you, Diego. Sickless23 said another motorcycle guy got killed on Bay Bridge today. Oh, so sad, Sickless23. God have mercy. Full Moon Aquatics says you can get it in a tiny bottle at Wally World as Jungle Clear Water in Fish Department, or big bottles sometimes found at the hardware stores. Thank you, Michelle. Jeremy's Wild Studio. Hey, Jeremy. How you doing? I just gave you a shout out. I'm behind. Angelo's in the house. Hey, Angelo. He had a birthday a couple days ago, everybody, and I missed it, and I felt so bad. So, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Angelo. Happy birthday to you, and many more. That's because I love you. And if anybody else had a birthday, I sang happy birthday to Diego, didn't I? If I didn't, Diego, tell me now so I can sing happy birthday to you. Diego says, I never recommend bleach for anything, but I use it to clean things such as decoration. Do as I say, not as I do. LOL. Yeah, it's a learning experience. It's to each his own. There are so many choices and so many different ways for us to keep our fish rooms healthy, our fish healthy. Don't overfeed. If you have excess food left over, by the end of the day, you're overfeeding, and your food could be stale, and the fish are not eating it. So try more frequent, smaller feedings. And you know, the rule is every two, if they eat 2 to 3 minutes, you know, then, and they're still hungry, you can give them a little bit more. But everybody's like, well, what's a little bit more? I used to measure my food out with a teaspoon. And in a 20-gallon, I was feeding half of a teaspoon of flakes, okay, for a colony of guppies. Then you kind of watch them how they eat, and then how much falls to the bottom so that your bottom feeders can get some. And then I complement my corridors with algae wafers. I never, okay, let's see. It's just jumping on me. Okay. Jeremy's Wild World said, you gave me a shout out? That's so sweet. Thank you. You're welcome, Jeremy. Madfish Diva, good job, Susan. Thank you, Char. Thank you so much, Char. Happy birthday, Angelo. Happy birthday, Angelo. You did. Thanks, Diego says. Happy birthday to all of the beautiful people who were born in April. And when you have one coming up in May, let me know. We got Friday's Fish Facts in the house. Hey, how you doing? Angelo says, thank you so much, Susan. You're welcome. We're still talking about maintenance, aquarium maintenance. And some people use pythons. Some people are still in the old bucket brigade. And that is so much fun, because when I got started 4 years ago with Chris and April and Gina, and Lord, I'm going to miss people when I start calling names, but we called ourselves the Old Bucket Brigade because we were still doing water changes with 5-gallon buckets. And I still use 5-gallon buckets, because especially when I'm washing off decor, when I'm rinsing out filter floss and filter media, I want that water in that bucket so I can rinse, you know, in old fish water, and then put it back in the filter, put it back in the aquarium, scrubbing off algae and you know, hair algae and blackbeard algae. Pretty much you got to pull it off and squirt it with hydrogen peroxide. Or what is that other fluval something? Flourish, I think. Everybody's still greeting one another. April baby's in the house, Crystal said. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, April babies. Happy birthday to you. Now back to fish. Buckets are good in addition to those tasks. Yes, Char, Mad Fish Diva says. Buckets are always good. And I use different length pythons. I have a 25-foot python. I have a 50-foot python. The 25-foot one I basically use for the ponds outside. And when I get ready to do a 50% water change out there, when I do fill it back up, I'm going to add some aquarium salt, because it's good for the fish coming out of the winter into the spring. And then a couple weeks later, I will be doing another 50% water change. And then I will be filling it up with just regular dechlorinated water. Cyclist23 says, if I'm not stepping on wet carpet with my socks on, something just ain't right. Bucket Brigade. And I also bought those waterproof mats that you can put down. So that helps protect your floors and your carpets from spills. Madfish Diva says XL. Yes. Is it Fluval XL or Flourish XL? that is good to kill blackbeard algae. Um, Little man is teething, unfortunately. Oh, the fun part. Dan Slee says at 6 a.m. today, some old fart wanted me to beat him up in a parking garage. When I left, he took out his anger and ripped off my windshield wipers. Oh, haters. Lord, have mercy on him, Dan. Have mercy. Lord, have mercy on him. That's just terrible. That's a misdemeanor. Is it? I think a misdemeanor. But anyway, if you wanted to take actions against him, do so. If not, just pray for the poor soul, because it's coming back to him. That which you sow, you will reap. If you sow love and kindness, you will reap love and kindness. If you are hostile and angry and hateful, it's coming back to you. Full Moon Aquatics says, I'm having trouble feeding in a 15-gallon column tank. Food keeps getting stuck in the plants. The fish love the plants, but I'm going to have to rescape. I have one like that, also Full Moon Aquatics. My 10-gallon, hang on the back, throws all of the food into the Java moss. And so I moved the Java moss, and I need to adjust the flow that's on that filter. It might be too strong. The Bucket Brigade is a cool name. Thank you, Melvin. Yes, Dan, for 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm so sorry. Jeremy's Wild Studio says, I sometimes use 1-gallon pitchers to refill tanks because buckets knock everything around inside the tank. Yes, I have a 1-gallon container with a spout on it that my son-in-law gave me, and I use that to top off water sometimes when the evaporation is strong in the house. I have 3 pythons and I'm still using buckets, Angelo says. I don't think you ever get away from buckets, because in your biggest fish rooms you still see 5-gallon buckets. So just hang in there. Don't ever get rid of your 5-gallon buckets, even if you have a python. I have a python and aquarium water changer. Oh, I gotta check that out, Diego. Pretty sure the parking garage got his license plate. All right. Jeremy's Wild Studio. I have an Aquarium water changer. Let's see. I have an Aquarium water changer, 2 Petsonics. I found it's not a very effective gravel cleaner. Oh, okay. People just seem to be so angry these days. Yes, Madfish Diva, anger is something that is out of control, and those of us that have peace and have self-control, hats off to you. Praise and glory to the Lord, and to you who have self-control. I really encourage it. Let's love one another. Kaylor's Aquatics says, glad you weren't harmed, Dan. Yes, that's so true. Could have gotten worse. Could have been a worse report. Sickless 23, was it random? Homeless dude? Okay, y'all handle that. Thank you, Bob, and yeah, at least was smart enough to walk away. Right. Y'all just quit. Madfish Diva says, I have a 50-foot python, changed my life, and I have the 24-inch siphon for my tall tanks. I haven't gotten one of those yet, but I need one. Friday Fish Fact says, I use buckets for a couple of small tanks upstairs. I don't know where it just went. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. Did I go too far up? If I'm not stepping on, okay, hashtag bucket brigade, Excel. I went too far up. Friday Fish Facts, nice singing. Thank you. I guess I went too far. Gee golly. Okay, Friday Fish Facts. I use buckets for a couple small tanks upstairs. You wouldn't look good in pinstripe, Dan. Rob says. Kaylor says, amen, Susan. Thank you, Bob. Crystal's Pets and Plants is still cleaning my fish tank the old-fashioned way. LOL. Crystal, as you heard, hang on to those buckets. Python, AQUARIUM, water changer, no matter what. Gravel vat. Let's see. Filters and central systems. Hang on to your buckets. Bucket brigade is the only way to go when you have tiny fish and fry galore. I use a filter sock on the end of my vac. I've used knee-high stockings on the end of my tube. Jeremy's Wild Studio says, I wish I could stay longer, but I have to go. Everyone have a good night, and you're all wonderful. Thank you, Jeremy. Love you. May the angels watch over you and keep you. Thanks for chiming in here tonight. No orange is the new black. Crystal's Pets telling them bye. Bye, Jeremy. Good night, Jeremy. We're past the hour of 7. Do y'all want to go a little bit longer? I haven't seen Chris at Multi-Tank Addictions, whether he's going to go live tonight. Got a few more minutes for some more stats and for some more questions. Let's see. We have one more vote on the water change for the majority of your tanks. Weekly is 38%, bi-weekly 19%, as needed 38%, 15 votes. So weekly and as needed are tied. No more comments. Thank you guys. I wanted to remind everyone I'll be with you next week, but on May the 13th, that whole week, Rod and I will be out. I'm not sure if I'll be doing a live stream or not. I want to just have a good time with my mom, and Rod and I will be helping her. Perimeters are fine, so if it ain't broke, it ain't gonna fix it. That's true. Thank you, Bob, for sharing my streamlabs.com link. If you will click on that link, you do have to do a little registration of your name and stuff before, but it is so that I can avoid false reports, okay? And your information is not shared with anybody. Well, Diego says, what I'll say for hauling 5-gallon buckets back and forth is good exercise on your arms and legs and your gut. If you're using your core muscles, yes, arms and legs and your back. Because I've pulled muscles in my arms and shoulders. And yep, Full Moon Aquatics says, knee highs work. I will have to share how I do full water changes in a tank of babies and plants. Stumped me in the beginning. Yes, that's a good video to share. Safe travels for you and Rod, Susan. Thank you, Mad Fish Diva. It's still 2 weeks away, but I appreciate it. PA Fish Preachers in the house. Kevin, I'm getting ready to log off, man. I'm so glad you came in. I'll stay for a few more minutes. We've been talking about aquarium maintenance tonight, and so far, water changes weekly and as needed are tied in the poll that's on my YouTube channel community tab. And we are talking about using pythons and buckets. We called each other the beginners. When we didn't have pythons, we called ourselves the bucket brigade. So everybody's decided to hang on to their 5-gallon buckets even after you get pythons. We talked about plant dips. We talked about turning off your heater, turning off your filters before you do a water change. We talked about testing your water perimeters before you do a water change. If you don't have anything to test your water with, please do a regular water change each week of at least 10 to 20% of your water. And always dechlorinate it. And once you fill your tank back up, then plug your heater back in and plug your filter back in. Michelle says, thank you, Susan. Thank you, mods. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Full Moon. Thank you so much, everybody who showed up tonight and showed love. Check out each other's channel. Don't forget that today is the last day for April's 30% off at petsonics.com. Use promo code SLC Aquatics 30 until midnight tonight. Is that right, Diego? And don't forget to check out my commercial on Facebook on SLC Aquatics page that Rob DeFreeze Aquariums gave us a nice voiceover commercial. Angelo says I have like 8 buckets in the fish room. Have a good one. Good night, Madfish Diva. Good night, Crystals. Good night, Melvin. Good night, Rob. Good night, John Boy. We love you. Everyone be blessed and have a wonderful week. See you next time. Bye-bye.